and react. You always come back when you speak facts. So like, share, subscribe. You like having good vibes. Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Shut Up and React. I want to thank you for clicking on this video. Alright, this is gonna be a reaction to Joel Patrick, about the guy who got murdered in LA. I believe it was LA. So hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it.
Patrick, and I was very disappointed to hear the news yesterday. You may have heard of the African-American man who was shot by the police. I'm going to show you a brief video of that encounter, and you can hear the MSNBC reporter say, this man was shot for jaywalking. But
why is it glitching?
When you watch the video, you'll understand that he was shot because he attempted to remove the officer's weapon from his person.
New information about how a seemingly minor jaywalking stop turned into this, a warning. The video is disturbing. A 42-year-old father of two was shot to death by police there in broad daylight. He was unarmed, and he was not suspected of any serious felony or misconduct at all. He was stopped for alleged jaywalking, an infraction in California that carries a $250 ticket and is also rarely enforced to begin with.
Well, the police didn't have any business stopping him. Jaywalking is not a crime. Actually, it is a crime. And they had every right to question him about why he was jaywalking. The man was not shot because he was jaywalking. He was shot because he decided to take a firearm from the police.
I don't agree with that.
Now, rather than teach young African Americans that it's a bad idea when confronted by the police to attempt to remove their weapon, they're going to perpetuate this mentality that black people are victims and white people are racist.
No. You ain't calling it down the middle, Mr. Patrick. You're not calling it down the middle. You're not. Leave that up to me. I'll call it down the middle. All right? Because clearly, you ain't calling it down the middle. All right? On this right here, on my channel right here, which is a smaller channel, obviously. Who can? And I love it. I love it. But I call it down the middle. Black or white. There's no gray. All right? There's no gray. They shouldn't have been fucking with him. They shouldn't have been messing with him. Jaywalking. You get away with it 99.99999% of the time. All right? In a video that you didn't show, the cops are playing a game. Should we pull them over? Nah, one of the cops. No, bro, don't, come on, man. We're not gonna pull him over. Like, they hunted him. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna say hunted. They stalked him. They watched. Look it. He's gonna jaywalk. They had nothing else better to do in LA. Nothing else better to do in LA. Watch a guy who's jaywalking, right? Whatever. They pull him over. They could have just said, bro, you jaywalked. You got a $250 fine. Here you go. He didn't want to hear it. So he's trying to walk away. Bad thing. You can't walk away when the cops got you pulled over. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? I teach my son. You ever have a confrontation with cops? Remain where you are. Put your hands in clear sight. Obey what they got to say. Obey. Do what they tell you to do so you can get home to me. He's only 9. But I'm trying to drill that in now because you never know. You never know. He could go outside and get pulled over right now. I call it down the middle. Down the middle. You ain't calling it down the middle, Mr. Patrick.
Anytime a person is killed, regardless of their skin color, that is a tragedy. Were the police at fault for stopping the man for jaywalking? No, that's perfectly within their legal right. Was it an excessive use of force? Well, the police are trained to use deadly force when they
You ain't calling it down the middle.
fear that deadly force is going to be used against them. But this whole situation could have been avoided if he had just complied.
No. If we're gonna go how it could have been avoided, if we're gonna go with how it could have been avoided, so that means we're going to the whole root of it, the whole beginning, the whole, like a tree is in the ground, right? And it's sprouting, and the limbs are trying to touch the sun. We're gonna go with how it could have been avoided. Is if the cops didn't make this a game. If the cops weren't in the car 3 minutes previous, like looking at him, stalking him, and saying, you know, should we pull him over? One cop's doing, nah, bro, it's all right, it's nothing. So if a cop is saying to his partner, nah, it's nothing, that means that it's nothing. But the one cop said, nah, you know what, we're gonna do it. Because he wanted to have fun. He wanted to have fun with them. Gotta call it down the middle, Mr. Patrick.
The maximum penalty for jaywalking in California is a $250 fine. Now you tell me which is worse, dying or receiving a $250 fine.
That's a fact. I'd rather be home. I'd rather be home. So me, I'm complying, knowing that I'm a black man in the United States of America. We getting killed left and right. These cops walking home. Police department's giving your moms $1 million. If I get pulled over by police, I'm complying. Because I got shit to come home to. I got kids. So I want to come home to them. Not saying that he didn't want to come home to his kids. Not saying that at all. No way I'm saying that. I'm just letting you know what I would do. Who knows? Maybe he was pissed off that day. He was minding his business.
If you're a young African American man and you're watching this video, the fastest way to become part of a statistic would be to remove a police officer's weapon from their control.
You're already a statistic. We're fighting our whole lives not to become a statistic. I don't know if you understand that. But it's cool. Because I got white friends. 2-time felons. They don't want to become a statistic. Meaning, you're going to go right back in the can for life. They don't want to become a statistic. It's not about black and white. It's not. It's about poverty. It's about poverty, growing up in poverty. You ever watch American Me? Huh? White guy grew up with Mexicans. Didn't even know he was white. He was Mexican. I'm going off topic here. Watch American Me.
It's best not to make a bad decision that will compound the consequences. The young man would be alive today if he had complied with the officer's investigation instead of
Investigation. Jaywalking? You call jaywalking an investigation. You call him a young man. That man's double your age. That man is 42 years old. I'm sure he's had run-ins with police before. This wasn't his first. I'm sure, being a 42-year-old man in the United States, I'm going to go with this wasn't his first run-in with police. Not saying he's a thug, not saying he's a looter, not saying he's a robber, not saying he's a gangster, not saying he's a whatever. All I'm saying is the statistics show. And the statistics, you can make statistics fit your narrative, but they show that we have run-ins with police on a bigger clip than anybody else. Call it down the middle, Mr. Patrick.
He was going to resist. I'm so sick of hearing this narrative that the police are out here killing innocent black people when black people still commit 55% of the violent crime. We need
Was this violent? Was this jaywalking violent? Was he crip walking while he was jaywalking? Stomping on endangered ants? Was that violent? Did he punch somebody in the face as he was jaywalking? Was that violent? I don't know. I don't know what that statistic has to do with anything. I don't get why that's there. I get what you're trying to say. I get how you're trying to spin it.
need to address the issues within our own community and stop blaming the white man.
That's offending. That's a what? Mr. Patrick, you might be alright after all. That's a fact. What he just said right there was the most important thing in this entire goddamn video. Listen.
Not to make a bad decision that will compound the consequences. The young man would be alive today if he had complied with the officer's investigation instead of deciding he was going to resist. I'm so sick of hearing this narrative that the police are out here killing innocent black people when black people still commit 55% of the violent crime. We need to address the issues within our own community and stop blaming the white man. Make sure you subscribe to my email list at officialjoelpatrick.com. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Joel Patrick, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
It got real sad there in the end. But I agree 1,000,000% with that second, with that last, what you said. We need to worry about our own. Yeah, we need to address shit in house first. All right, but you don't use that when someone dies. You don't say, well, we need to fix up our own. You just use that when you're having a conversation, when you're having a debate. You don't use that when a man is dead for jaywalking. Wrong place, wrong time. I don't know if who can agree with this. I don't really care. This is my opinions. I call it down the middle. Y'all already know how I get down. There ain't no racism in me. I just call it 100. The cops was looking for a game. And he lost his life playing the game. I'm out.